as well, and the #1 team in assist-to-turnover ratio. Southern, with a rather suffocating defense, is going to try to stymie that effective offense. Prairie View A&M wins the opening tip. It's the Panthers in black, and it's the Jags in white. We are underway here at the Gateway Arena in Atlanta, Georgia.
Look for Prairie View to try to attack Mott off the dribble. They believe in their spacing.
Nifty shot right off the back. Dante Horn, who has been the hottest player. He and Michael Jacobs have been the hottest players in this tournament. And Horn leads the way with 20.5 points per game.
Horn's a really special player. He's got great one-on-one skills. He can also pass the ball, but he's great off the dribble.
A paint touch and hook shot for Terrence Dixon. He's off the mark. So an empty possession. As you see the starting lineups for both. Again, Jacobs and Horn both capable of lighting it up here tonight.
Williams, the point guard for Prairie View, is a real leader. He sets everybody up at 6'1".
He's their leading assist man, averaging over 3 assists a game. Another strong take by Horn. Offensive rebound. And that's by Corey Dunning. Driving, dishing. Passing up the three is Horn. Scissor dribble, shot clock ticking down, under 7 now. Horn in a double team, shot is rejected. That is Dixon. He leads the way with 41 blocks on the season.
Well, Southern is a very good team defense. They clog the middle, they like to go high-low, they utilize their bigs. I'm not so sure that Prairie View is going to be able, on a one-on-one situation, to break them down defensively.
Prairie View going inside, 2 paint touches, and that time it's Dixon drawing the foul for Southern. Kevin Johnson in his 3rd year as the head coach of this Southern squad.
I met Kevin Johnson a long time ago when I was recruiting his brother. Wound up going to Syracuse on me when I was at Tulane. But a great basketball family. He's an excellent coach.
Yeah, his brother Dave was an All-American at Syracuse and a first-round draft pick.
Mike, don't tell me that. You're breaking my heart early. Come on now.
I thought that was good memory.
Well, not the ones I lose. But it's a great basketball family.
He's done a great job this season trying to cap it off with a historic trip to the tournament. Both these teams have been away from the big dance for a while. More on that in a moment. As the Panthers trying to get something going again. Late clock situation and a driving 2-hand slam on number 13. That's Corey Wells.
Corey Wells is another guy, highly skilled, good one-on-one player.
Probing the right side, stopping, dish out, and a turnover. That time a little bit too creative. PVAMU threw it wide of the mark.
There you see the drive. The one thing that Prairie View has done, Mike, is create really good spacing. So therefore, their guys can get downhill and drive the basketball and attack the basket.
Panthers with the basketball, up by 3. Again, the highest scoring team in the SWAC all season long, averaging over 80 points per game. They're loaded with weapons, including one of the best scorers. That's number 2 in black, Horn, who just gave it off. Shot clock down to 3. Inside, the pivot, the fade, and a block, but a foul. So almost a second block for Dixon, but he got a little piece of the arm on the way down.
Wells at 6'7" has really good. He's a 4-man that has 3-man skills. So his ability to stretch the defense, to come out on the perimeter, put it on the floor, makes him very effective.
Corey Wells, a senior out of Murphy, Texas, averages 13.7 rebounds a game. He's a transfer out of Utah Valley.
You know, one of these things in this league, coaches understand earlier in the season, you got to go on the game on the road. You got to play some road games. So the records are a little misleading. Also, the chemistry that you have is a little misleading because you all wind up playing some money games and traveling and can't play the style that you ultimately want to play in the league.
You got to look there at Byron Smith. He is the elder statesman of the SWAC. He's in his 11th season. He won this tournament back in 2019. That's the last time the Panthers have gone dancing. A 5-point lead for his squad. There's a best look at the games thus far. A missed 3 that time by A.J. Barnes. And almost a save by the Jags, but instead it'll be Prairie View basketball. Coach, another interesting thing about these two teams, the Panthers play 5-6 guys a ton of minutes. Southern will rotate a bunch of different players, so it'll be a good war of attrition here at the end of this game.
It will, and I think the pace of the game will be dictated by that, and that's why you see Southern with the pressure right now, changing the defense, trying to work mentally against Prairie View as well as physically. And
that's a 10-second call. A 10-second call, so the trap pays off dividends right off the bat.
Yeah, I saw Southern play earlier in the year, and I will tell you, Mike, I was really impressed defensively with the way that they contained the basketball, the way they changed their defenses and not break their momentum or their continuity.
Southern with the basketball, down by 5. Drive and dish up top. Into the hands of Duval. Missed it. Rebound and hacked in the act is A.J. Barnes, who's been active early, and that's a good sign because he's a 8.5 rebound a guy game that can really provide a spark for them, and he's also a hometown product out of Eagles Landing High School here in Atlanta.
Well, one of the keys to this game is the rebounding the basketball, and Prairie View is really concerned keeping Southern off the offensive glass, and if they can flex like they just did, it'll be a problem.
73% on the year is Barnes. So we talked about the difference in the way these guys attack it. That is the minutes played by the starters for Prairie View A&M. 3 guys over the century mark. Corey Dunning not far behind with 93. So they don't play a ton of guys. They ask their starters to log a lot of minutes.
But I tell you, this time of the year, guys are used to that. I know when I used to coach with a guy named Bobby Crimmins, he only believed in playing 6 guys. So, but those 6 were pretty good.
I was going to say, a lot of lottery picks out of those 6, that's for sure.
You know, but guys get used to playing the minutes and taking their blows and sharing the basketball.
Horn's been quiet, had that shot either altered or blocked. Here comes Southern in transition. Duval lays it up, left it short, and the rebound. And then a kick basketball. It will be Panther basketball.
Duval's he's got to explode on that shot. He tried to broad jump instead of high jump. When you're in transition like that, you want to put that thing high on the glass and be able to finish and get an and one.
They call him PJ. PJ Duval, a senior, 6'8", out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. I was talking to one of the reporters to our left that's covering this tournament, and he's out of Minneapolis. He said he's going to be stuck here till Tuesday. They were having record snowfall coming to the Minnesota area. So if you're going to be stuck somewhere, I mean, there's worse places than the ATL.
Without question.
Maybe catch a Hawks game. They're red hot right now. This arena, by the way, the Gateway Arena, this is where the G League team, the Skyhawks, play. Technically, they're called the College Park Skyhawks. We are in walking distance from the airport. You decide at halftime, Coach, you want to leave me and take a flight out of here. It's a common occurrence.
No, I tell you, they've got 4 beautiful hotels that are right here. Now, I've had to be stuck in one of the hotels when the weather was bad.
Yeah, so. That's no fun. Nice job breaking the pressure that time. Great ball movement. Sets up the open 3. Got it. From the corner. Hitting the triple is Cam. I beg your pardon, is Tyrion Joseph, the 6'3 senior. He's out of Baton Rouge, which is where Southern, their campus, is located. Duval trying to answer with a 3, can't do it. Flying in for the rebound is Dante Horn, who's not just a great scorer, but for a guard averages nearly 5 boards a game. Losing the handle, getting back up is Williams. Williams probing. Williams look off and then tries to hit a running layup, can't do it.
That's why Williams is so good in the half court. His physical size allows him to get into the paint area and sets up his teammates.
Horn in transition gets hammered, and 2 free throws upcoming for the leading scorer in this ball game, Dante Horn. 20.5 points per game. He'll be at the line when we come back. Exciting start to the SWAC championship game. Somebody's punching a ticket tonight here in Atlanta. It's the Panthers leading the Jags 9-3.
The Disney Resorts Collection is the most magical place to stay at the most
legendary Ben Jobe. They have made 9 tournaments in their history, including How about 1993? Southern took on Georgia Tech and knocked off the Yellow Jackets in the first round.
Ben Jobe, legendary coach. I took his position at Georgia Tech when he went on to Southern, and what an unbelievable coach. And I tell you what, if they can win in both men and women, they'll be second lining in Baton Rouge tonight.
There's no doubt about that. Free throw up and in for Dante Horn. 7-point lead. Southern needs to get something going. They're 0 for 6 from the field. Mike Morgan, the coach, Perry Clark here in Atlanta. SWAC championship game. The winner goes to the big dance. The loser season is over.
As much as we talk about Prairie View offensively, Coach told me the key to the turnaround has been their defense. And Mike, they went from playing a solid man-to-man to a switching man-to-man, so they felt like they contained the ball better. They got more people involved, and they were able to shut people down defensively. And so far, it's worked so against Southern.
Again, late clock for Prairie View. With 3, with 2, baseline jumper. Really from the right wing, misses, and here comes Southern. Southern's got to get something going. 0 for 7 right now from the field, still only down 7. Strong take off the window and in, and there's the first field goal. A driving layup by Michael Jacobs. The Jacobs, the leading scorer at 17 points per game.
Well, I think Southern has to get out in transition. I think they're much more effective when they do that. You can utilize your weapons. You can go inside. You can hunt the threes.
Horn, drive and kick, baseline corner 3, air ball.
Right now, they really should push the ball.
Kind of walk it up the floor rather nonchalantly. Ambery goes right side to Jones.
How good your fast break is really depends on your big guys and how fast they run the floor. If you got bigs that run the floor, you can have a good transition game.
Suffocating defense, driving right into a triple team, and they will call a foul. So Damari Jones dribbled right into the teeth of that Panthers zone and got the whistle.
But Prairie View, they're all about the same size, and Mike, they're all physical, so they're strong enough that even when they switch, you're not going to back anybody down or you're not going to bully anybody on the glass.
Jones is 68% free throw shooter, the lefty. Back irons the first.
You know, the tendency in games like this is to think you got to do something other than what you've been doing or be somebody other than what you are, and it's really the opposite. You just need to come in and play what has gotten you here, and that's the challenge both of these two coaches have with their teams today.
Jones out of Bessemer, Alabama. That hometown rings a bell. One Bo Jackson hails from that same town.
He wasn't too bad.
He was okay. He was known for football and baseball. I bet he could play some hoops too. There's a nice break. A steal and a bucket for Jones. So Jones, a one-man wrecking crew, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. Here's Williams floating outside left up top to Dunning. Dunning, their best rim protector, not known for a whole lot of offense. Bump foul called on Southern with 11 on the shot clock.
Southern foul number 10.
Whenever you're kind of struggling offensively, defense is what you need to do. There you get a steal, get an easy basket. It energizes you and kind of gets you going.
That will not be the last time you and I say steal for Southern. They average 9.5 steals a game. That's the 7th highest total in all of college basketball. They are very active in the passing lanes.
And a lot of that comes to the fact that they change their defenses and give different looks.
Deep 3, left wing, and nothing but the bottom of the net for Joseph.
Joseph got hurt in a part of the season. He's just starting to come back. When I talked to Coach this morning, they say he brings a lot of energy. He has not run his scoring punch back yet, but they were hoping to get it tonight, and he's showing that he's ready to step up.
Abdul Gawad, the Egyptian, had it blocked inside. Here come the Panthers up 5 and looking to extend it. Joseph calling for a post. He wants his man to get down there. Finally, Wells does. Wells bellied up. Wells forces it. It somehow gets it down anyway.
That was a tough shot. They kind of gave it to Wells, and everybody got popcorn and some sodas and watched him.
Wells was determined to shoot it no matter what. It looked like a great offering, but it does go down. 12 minutes to go, first half. Prairie View has led throughout, and now another turnover. Here come the Panthers in transition. Joseph gets it to go.
Off the defense. That's the way Prairie View has been living the last month.
Terrion Joseph on the business end of the fast break. It's a 9-point lead for the Panthers.
And I tell you, when games like this, what you want is your defense to step.
Coach, but once it all clicked, all of a sudden Prairie View became one of the hottest teams in this league.
Without question. A lot of that might have to do the early scheduling and who you have to play and playing on the road and trying to get your chemistry and everything down, and it's tough.
Tough shot and an and one for Michael Jacobs, and you can bet your bottom dollar if Southern is going to pull off the win here tonight. Number 10 in white is going to have to make a lot of plays just like that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can win. You can win by how you play defense, how you play offense, or you can just have a stud and say, big fella, we're going to get on your back and we're going to ride you. And I think that's what Coach did at timeout with Jacobs. He said, it's your time right now. We need you.
He is out of McEachern High School, which is about 20 miles or so northwest of here. And as you know, that is a factory of great basketball talent.
It has been, and he does, Jacobs does such a great job offensively because of the fact that he is very good off the dribble and his skill set is really good.
6-point game, 11 and change to go. A rise and fire three, air ball, offensive rebound done. That's why he's out there. Final ticks away. He got it off in time and splashes it home. Lance Williams with the triple. He doesn't shoot a ton of them, but he's 41% on the season.
Yeah, I talked about Williams earlier as far as being the point guard. He's catch, shoot, but he's such a leader and a stabilizing force for this Prairie View team. You know, whenever you have a run like this, there's a lot of different subtle reasons why that happens.
The lead now swells to 9 with 11 minutes to go. This Panther team, as we highlighted at the top, the number 1 scoring team. They're also the number 1 3-point shooting team in conference play, so they can beat you in a number of ways. Ball comes left wing. Rocker step, rise and fire, baseline jumper, and almost an and one for Joe Manning. Joe Manning will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
Joe Manning is a 6'2" shooter. He's really effective in transition.
Joe Manning with 2.
Manning, one of the many players from the state of Louisiana on this Southern roster, which hails from Baton Rouge. We'll cap off Champ Week tomorrow. How about what's going on right now in Nashville? 2 more games, including the championship game. Maybe not the matchup everybody expected, as Vanderbilt smoked Florida today. So they will take on Arkansas. A couple of top seeds went down there. And then also you've got the American going on. That'll be between South Florida and Wichita State. That'll be the final automatic tourney bid that will be taking place. Again, that's tomorrow on ESPN and the ESPN app.
How about John Calipari? He's just sneaky good. You know, he gets out of the headline. He's slowly, everybody talks about Florida, everybody talks about Kentucky, and my man just keeps right on trucking, doesn't he?
Well, he has Darius Acuff, and for those that have not seen Darius Acuff, you want to talk about one of the most exciting players that will be in the big dance. He is the guy.
Well, and that's one of the things that I think John is underrated with. He lets his stars be stars. He puts them in the best position to be successful.
As someone who calls a lot of SEC games, I haven't seen a more exciting player in the country. We're having a little issue here.
All they're trying to do is get in the line. And, you know, and everybody has their space. Let them get their space. It's not going to mean anything special.
Let's not make this more complicated.
Yeah.
It has to be just a simple stack on an inbounds. Here we go. Back to basketball. 5 on the shot clock. A fade and fire off the mark and flying in for the rebound. That's Jones. Jones averages 6.5 rebounds a game, tied for the team lead. Left elbow jumper off the mark, tapped around and right into the hands of Lance Williams.
Those are the shots those Southern's going to have to make, those mid-range shots.
Williams, the savvy veteran point guard, hanging acrobatic layup, and it's 22-13.
Again, Williams does all the little things for this Prairie View team.
Coach's dream, right?
That's it.
Great block. Corey Wells returned to sender. Here comes Horn, and a better block on the other end by Manning. Wow, back-to-back highlight rejections. First by Prairie View and then by Southern.
This game means an awful lot to these kids. This is like a lifelong dream to be able to go to the NCAA tournament.
Any block you can do, I can do better. Joe Manning, top floor on that rejection.
But that's why, Mike, you got to put it above the rim. You got to put it high on the glass.
No goaltend there either. He got it, then he pinned it. Horn directing traffic. Panthers have led throughout this first half. A 9-point game, and then a bump foul up top by Hardy. An easy call for the officiating crew, and that'll be team foul number 5 on Southern.
I think offensively, Southern has to start running some action. So far, offensively, what they're doing is a lot of isolation off the bounce. I think they've got to run some pin downs to get more ball screens and get the defense moving and stop trying to attack too quickly.
Heat check by Horn, back iron, and now Southern on the attack, leading the way and getting it is Brandon Hardy. He was leaking out beyond the pack and lays it in to make it a 7-point game. You know, it's funny, Coach, we talked at the top, these are the top 2 scoring teams. I wonder if some of those nerves are causing a little bit more lower scoring half.
Well, yeah, the tendency, like I was saying earlier, is think you've got to be something other than what got you here. And you really got to settle into the game and get back to your habits and your practice, the things that you practice.
Mitchell creating space but missed the 3. Rebound off by Terrence Dixon. Southern just hanging around. They have been ice cold from the field, just 24%.
See, you don't see any action. You see no ball screens. You don't see, a lot of standing.
Creeping inside, carving out space, but misfiring is Jones. Jones got caught too deep under the rim, and then Slam City! Streaking down the right side is Corey Wells, 6'7", 200 pounds, coming right at you.
And Prairie View has lived off their defense and their transition. Prairie View is too physically strong, and they move their feet too well just to be beaten off the bounce. You got to go inside out. You got to change directions with the ball.
Again inside, and this time slithering in is Damari Jones. Southern has been attacking the paint on Prairie View all night long. It's really the only place they've been able to get any buckets going. Not a single 3 so far hit by the Jags. Acrobatic take, absorbing the contact and banking it home is Corey Dunning.
See how strong the Prairie View players are? They can take the physical contact. That's been their strength. They're interchangeable parts. They can switch, and they're all really good athletes.
Here's that standing you were talking about, Coach. Just seemed a little discombobulated on the offensive end of the Jags. Oh, I think that
he thought it was a whistle.
Yeah, he thought there was a whistle and just stopped playing. Mitchell then draws the foul on the other end. That's got to drive the coach crazy. Kevin Johnson's going to let Michael Jacobs hear about it.
When you get this time of the season, the thing that gets you here is your defense, and you need your defense to really trigger everything that you do. And there you see a great defensive stop, transition, and it finishes with a dunk.
Your dog is sick of being trapped inside by your weed killer. So, he's taking matters into his own paws with Spruce, the weed.
Tennessee leads a team in scoring, leads a team in free throw percentage, leads a team in steals, leads the team in field goals and second on the team in rebounding. He's a guy that simply does it all for the Panthers.
He's the guy that Coach makes sure is on the bus. He's the first guy that they look for. And the thing that's so amazing about him and talking to coaches, the respect he has in the league with other coaches, with all the little things he does for this team.
Now here's Prairie View, the number 8 seed, and playing the additional game, trying to make some history as well, as their path has not been an easy one. We talked about how they're peaking at the right time, and they've certainly displayed that here in the first half. All right, what do you want to see Southern do differently on offense here? Because they struggled.
Pass and cut, and not just throw the ball in and play isolation basketball. Right. I think they need more movement, get more people involved, because they have capable scorers. They've got guys that can go into low posts and create double teams, and so I think they just got to move the basketball and run some action.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Coach. And is the voice of Perry Clark, longtime head coach, who's been in a few games of this magnitude, win and get into the NCAA tournament. 5 on the timer, deep 3 on the way, and buried by who else? Dante Horn.
You know, and Mike, it's different. The Horn's a stud. All right. I mean, he can be that guy, and he can step up, and he can go 5-6 minutes and carry you. I don't think Southern has a guy like that, so they need everybody to be able to contribute, and that's why you got to share the basketball and get everybody involved. That was great action, and they just didn't finish, but that's the type of action that they've got to do.
That's Dixon on the missed layup. And here's Prairie View on a 7-0 run. Horn in takeover mode. They have that guy. Here he is again, feeling it. That time a little bit of a force, but he gets it back. Sets up an open shooter on the wing. 3 ball is missed, and a tough rebound in traffic by Brandon Hardy. Ambery into the game for the Jags. Number 3 in white on the handle. Paint touch, throws it up. That's just a tough shot. It's almost a kind of a prayer there, Coach. You really just threw it at the rim.
Well, again, they're trying to do it off of some isolation and off of what they call spacing, which means that you make the defense have to live in gaps, and if they help, you can kick it to the next guy. If they don't, you can get to the rim. And so far, Prairie View has not had to help because they've been able to contain the basketball.
Jacobs, the guy that has led this team throughout this postseason, pulls up and missed it, tapped out of bounds. And it will remain Southern basketball. You see the starters so far tonight for Southern. They have been uber quiet. The bench has led the way. And again, they have the deeper bench. That's the advantage that they have. Now the overrule, it will be Panther basketball. But one way or another, we keep saying it, Coach, and it certainly bears true for this Jaguar squad. If they're going to win this game, Michael Jacobs has to be a huge factor. Wells on a dribbling now, puts it on the deck, goes ahead and then draws an offensive foul. So Wells was just on a stationary dribble, then put it in second gear and commits the offensive foul.
If I'm Southern right now, I'm trying to put my foot on the gas and close this half out. We haven't played as well as we would like. We haven't been able to score. But if we can get this lead cut down and finish these last 4 minutes and 27 seconds with a flourish, then it puts us in a great position coming into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, as much as the score is not where you want it to be if you're Southern, you're shooting 26%. This could easily be a lot worse.
Yes.
Jacobs brings it in the front court, leaves it off for McGee. Back to Jacobs on the wing. Around the ball screen. And again, more stagnation by this Jags offense.
The switching by Prairie View, I think, has created the fact that the Jags have been stagnant.
Shot clock down to 5. Driving, kicking, and throwing it out of bounds. That was just a bad possession all around if you're Southern. Frustration visible on the face of Cam Ambery.
And returning for the
I will tell you, Mike, offensively it's hard when a team is switching everything because you don't have the matchups a lot of times that you're looking at, and especially when they're all the same size, and it's really throwing off the Southern offense.
Under 4 here in the first half. Panthers have led throughout, trying to tack onto the lead here with a Wells rise and fire. Splashes it home.
The confidence right now that Prairie View is playing at. One of the things I always look at is the pace of the game. And the pace of the game is, are you recognizing what's going on the floor at a speed where you can affect it? And right now, Prairie View's pace is tremendous.
H.A. Barnes, another Atlanta product, gets the lay-in to make it 34-19. Close again on the 3-minute mark of half number 1. SWAC championship game here in Atlanta. The winner goes to the NCAA tournament. And a chance for Southern in transition. Here comes Jags, full throttle, and off balance, falling to the deck as Michael Jacobs somehow gets it to go.
You called his number earlier. You said he needed to step up. He heard you.
He heard me. I don't know if that's the play I designed for him. The fall down layup, but he hits it anyway. And then a great response on the other end. That is Lance Williams. Now the pace has picked up in this game. A quick shot by Jacobs, can't hit it. Under 2.5 to go. A 15-point lead for Prairie View. The number 8 seed in this SWAC tournament. Bleeding some clock. Lance Williams, hailing from the same city that the campus of Southern resides, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Williams sets up the mid-range jumper from the left elbow.
Mike, he is so tough. I talked earlier about his leadership and why he's the heartbeat of this team. He controls everything. He's not their leading scorer, but he's the guy that stirs the coffee.
And then a foul on the Panthers. Minute 51 to go. Prairie View up by 17.
It's just me and you, girl.
Old spice turned our boys to men. Although we've come to the
Job Chris did.
I mean,
And what a good guy.
a great guy, great coach who's won wherever he's been, and having had a few of his games this year, he just kept reminding me, Mike, I've never had a losing season in my life. We will be back next year. Well, they were almost back this year because they were a win in that game in overtime against Arkansas. They would have been 1 win away from the NCAA tournament as a 15 seed. Never have we seen a run by a team like that in the SEC seeded that low.
You know, it's been a great basketball season. I mean, a lot of highlights, a lot of special players, a lot of special plays, and it all comes down to this weekend and what goes on next week for these kids to be able to have a chance to reach their dreams.
It's such a great time of year. The SWAC has had some memorable moments in the NCAA tournament. I referenced that Southern win against Georgia Tech in '93. As recently as 2012, Norfolk State upset number 2 seed Missouri. And who can forget Fang Mitchell and Coppin State in '97 knocking off number 2 seed South Carolina. Great drive and take that time by Michael Jacobs.
Well, people don't know Ben Joe recruited Bobby Crimmins, so when Southern had to win, I mean, it hurt Bobby to lose the game, but he really admired Ben and the job Southern did.
A little bit of life here, Coach, displayed by Southern as we get ready to close out this first half. And now a turnover. Numbers for the Jags if they can get it in high gear. And that one never really develops. Instead, they'll have to set it up in the half court. Jacobs sets up the play. Southern has been stagnant in the half court for much of this first half. Jacobs, kick out pass, sets up Barnes on a 3, and Barnes rattles it home, and it's a 10-point game.
The 3 ball has a way of bringing you back quickly, and you can get some good looks at that. Right now, Southern needs to lock in defensively.
A 7-0 run by the Jags in about 90 seconds of action. Just what the doctor ordered if you're Southern. Shot clock is off. Horn setting it up, and he buries late clock triple, and that's how the half will end.
That's what your stud is supposed to do for you. When the offense breaks down, go get me a bucket, son.
Stagnant on offense. How do they de-stagnate the offense, as I make up a word?
5 passes before we get a shot. Let's move the basketball. Let's get everybody in touch. But Prairie View comes out in the zone, figuring that they talked about that at halftime to give them a different look. What good coaching.
How do you attack it?
You still got to move the basketball. You got to get people to cut.
This is one guy that can break the zone. Drive and kick. Hardy sets up Jacobs. Good look. Just missed it off to the right side. And the first possession is an empty one for the Jags.
That was a smart defensive play by Prairie View, coming out showing the 1-3-1 right off the bat.
Prairie View led by head coach Byron Smith in his 11th season now. The former star in the hardwood for the Houston Cougars. He was a all-conference selection back in 1989, 1990, all-Southwest Conference back in the day, and has worked his way up the coaching ranks. As I mentioned at the top, he's the elder statesman of the SWAC. 11 years, leads all coaches in this conference.
And most people associate him with Houston, but he's actually from Bossier City, Louisiana, and has really roots there. He wanted me to make sure I told his family back there hello, because they've been following him. But what a career he's had, and what a great job he's done this year.
Trying to cap it off with what would be his second trip to the NCAA tournament, and that'll help. A triple by Wells, who continues his hot scoring night. He leads all scorers with 14 points.
Did we just show him at the top?
We did.
Well, I'm telling you. Well, the guys in the truck are right on it today now.
We call that clairvoyance. They knew that was going to be a story not only in the first half, but in the start of the second as well. Jags need to find a story if they're going to have a shot in this game. They've just been outplayed from the opening tip. Got an illegal screen or a hold. That's going to be on the Jags.
There you see the drive, the spacing, getting your feet set. That's sharing the basketball, and that's what I'm talking about, getting everybody involved.
We go back to Corey Wells. Not only the great game here, but the tournament. He's 8 for 16 from behind the arc. Corey Wells shooting 50% from downtown.
A lot of your shooting percentage is predicated off the quality of shot that you get. And I think that the Prairie View team has done a great job getting guys open looks. There's Williams with an open look, and he knocks it down.
Knocks it down. It's raining threes right now for the Panthers. First it came from Wells. That is from Lance Williams. And a much-needed timeout called by Southern and their head coach, Kevin Johnson. A largest lead for the Panthers, 47-28, with 18 minutes to play.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool DQ soft serve.
Not worry about the score. Share the basketball. We need to defend and come up with some stops. But I got to offensively get some flow into this game so we can get a lot of guys involved. They're still trying to space and drive, and that hasn't worked all day.
There has to be more of this guy, Jacobs. Finding Barnes. Jump hook shot is good. Nifty shot by A.J. Barnes. That'll make it a 17-point game, but they can't exchange baskets here. Need to find some stops. One thing Southern does, I mentioned at the top, one of the top steals teams, they will turn you over, but Prairie View has been poised on offense. They've only turned it over 4 times the whole game.
And that's because Williams has the ball in his hands most of the time, and he's a really good point guard.
Would you call him the engine, right?
That's it.
The engine is running on some good fuel in this game. And there he is, tight-roping the baseline and saving it from going out of bounds. Lance Williams, a senior out of Baton Rouge. Averages 10 points. He's their top assist guy. Just controls the game for the Panthers.
They've had some pretty good basketball players come out of Baton Rouge, let me tell you.
Most of them go to LSU. And
you didn't have to say, Mike, you hit me with daggers, man. Holy cow. I was going to buy dinner tonight.
No.
Oh, you're killing me,
Take it all
man.
back.
You're killing me.
Some went to Tulane when you were there, right? It's tough to out-recruit LSU. Right in the backyard of the Bayou Bengals.
Let me tell you something. LSU is tough to recruit against any place in the state of Louisiana. They grow up purple and gold now.
There's a great quick hands on display by Jacobs. Leads the team in steals, leads the team in points, and maybe that'll provide a much-needed spark.
Well, you have to do it with some defensive stops, and you got to lock in and just be prepared to play defense for the whole possession.
Plenty of time. You're down 15. You haven't played good basketball yet. Horn between the rings. Pounded by Hardy. Horn going to have to force it. Just throws it up and banks it home. A horse shot by Horn.
But see, that's what I'm telling you. Horn's the problem because he can make a bad shot look like a good shot.
Yeah, that was a desperation shot. One-hand runner off the glass. Dante Horn continues to have a tournament to remember. Under 10 to shoot, and a block foul will go against the Panthers, and that'll bring us to a media timeout with 15:42 to go.
There, you see Horn right there, putting the ball down. The one thing he does is he keeps his eye on the basket, so he knows what he's shooting at.
In the backyard, you put a letter on your opponent. That's H in a game of horse. Right now, H stands for Horn. His Panthers lead it by 17. Has ever won it playing 4 games in the tournament. There's only been one time where a number 8 seed has won it. This would be the first time a team has gone into the SWAC field and had to play 4 games in 4 days and win it. So the journey, as you see, Texas Southern won it as an 8. They only had to play 3. Everybody else has lost when they had to play as a number 8 seed. But the journey is so interesting for this Panther squad, coach, because at one point they lost 7 of 8 games. They hit a skid between January 17th and February 14th. Nothing was going right. And now all of a sudden they figured it out. They turned it around. They've won 8 of 9. They're the hottest team in the league.
Well, and there's a lot of reasons. Like early in the season, you have to go play at Kansas, at Houston, at Baylor, because you play those games, and it's hard to get continuity. It's hard to get momentum when you're playing those road games and all like that, and then have to come back. And it's the carryover when you play in your league that you got to get your guys to get some confidence back and all. And that's why Coach has just done a tremendous job at Prairie View this year with the way that he's got this team to bounce back and how they're playing right now. It's not easy, I can tell you, Mike.
Not easy to get a block shot from behind, but that's exactly what Corey Dunning just did. He's out there to do one thing, rim protect. And that's exactly what he just did, number 4 in black. Dunning trying to find some help. Bottled up here, just avoids a 5-second count. Rarely see those called anymore in college basketball. Shot clock under 5. Again, degree of difficulty, but that time the shot does not drop. However, a foul called on Southern going for the rebound.
Southern foul number 1.
And that's on Damari Jones.
What Prairie View cannot do right now is get stagnant offensively. They've got to make Southern continue to work offensively, and they've got to get to the line. I would look to throw the ball into the low post, make them double team, try to pick up some fouls.
I'm telling you what, Corey Wells is inventing shots right now. I mean, everything he throws up there is kind of herky-jerky, not exactly in rhythm, but they're dropping. How about the performance by Wells so far tonight? A game-high 16 points. We're back in the danger zone if you're Southern by 18. Jacobs, late clock, stairs, fires, missed it. Trying to hit one right between the eyes of Mitchell. Scramble for the loose ball. Scooped up by Southern. Fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock. 3 ball from the corner, but he stepped out of bounds. That kind of night as Brandon Hardy was hunting a 3, but lost his bearings.
Well, Southern had not had any open looks. I mean, the closeout by Prairie View, the switching has created a lot of problems because there's always somebody on the ball containing the basketball. And I just think Southern has got offensively, they've got about another 5-6 minutes to try to get in some sort of offensive flow to close this gap.
Well, you've alluded to the Panthers' defense all night. We've been praising how good they are offensively, the #1 offense in the conference. Maybe we ought to start praising their defense more. But the offense continues to fill it up from outside. That's a 3 from Elijah Mitchell.
You know, when you're on a roll, it's amazing how good offense and good defense kind of goes together and gets you some victories.
Jacobs responding on the other end. You just get the feeling Jacobs is going to have to absolutely take over for Southern if they're going to get back into this game. On the hezzy step.
He's the closer now. Yeah. At any point in time, he can go get his basket. But what he does is he runs this ball club. He gets everybody involved. When he needs to call his own number, he can do it. You see that great upper body strength, finishing at the rim. That's big time.
He actually downshifts here. It looks like he was going slow motion. You're thinking, what is he doing? And then the right-hander finishes with the left in between 2 defenders. Just brilliant from Lance Williams. And you know this is extra special for him growing up in Baton Rouge. Certainly very familiar with Southern and that program located in Baton Rouge.
He's going to have a pretty good time on spring break in Baton Rouge now.
No doubt. A lot of bragging rights for him as A.J. Barnes goes mid-range. 20-point game. Still an eternity of time, but Southern has to figure out how to slow down this Panther offense, which is shooting 53 from the field and 60 from behind the arc. Oh, look at this. My goodness. Lance Williams is in the zone, folks.
Yeah, we talk about pace. You hear coaches talk about pace. Right now, Prairie View's playing at a great pace.
And then a 4-point play opportunity for A.J. Barnes. So just when you think Williams starts to put this thing on ice with his 17th point, a much-needed 4-point opportunity for the Jags.
That's a big-time shot right there. You don't want to do anything, though, to get the Jags motor running because this is a team that has a lot of pride, a lot of tradition, and they're very well coached. So, you know, they still have some time.
You mentioned that tradition. They're going for their 10th tournament all time. Although the last one came 10 years ago in 2016 as the 4-point play is completed. Make it 59-41. I can't remember the last time the Panthers had an empty possession, though. That's the problem. That might help. Yes, a turnover. The Jags have spurtability. Again, they have been the most stifling defense in the league. They've turned people over. The problem is Prairie View has gotten into a comfort zone. Inside, bottled up, and that'll be a jump ball, right? Horn reaching in, yes.
If we had a shot chart, the Jags have got nothing in the paint. And that's because of Prairie View's defense and their ability to use their size and switching.
11:59 to go. The 8th seed Panthers can smell it right now. 59-41. We have a special ESPN.
He understands what the mission was in coming here to Atlanta. He has not taken his foot off that pedal and driving this team.
And again, he's been doing it round by round as Prairie View tries to become the first SWAC team ever to win this event, playing 4 games as the number 8 seed. And they do so without much of a bench. They play their starters the most minutes of any team in the field. Right now they're in control, up by 18. Southern has to watch them bleed a little clock here. Shot clock down to single digits. It's that man again, Williams. If that would have gone, just wave the white flag if you're Southern. And then a bump foul by Dunning. Southern now is 3 team fouls on Prairie View.
When I was at Tulane, we used to play Prairie View right before Christmas break. And they had Coach Plummer. He was the best dressed coach ever to come to New Orleans. Oh, man, he had me. He had some yellow suits, some purple suits. I mean, and our fans loved him because they would always come in and it would be an entertaining game.
They're out of Texas. They've made 2 NCAA tournaments all time. 2019, that was under Coach Smith. They won the SWAC. They made it to the tournament. And then the last time before that, the only other time before that, 1998, they lost to #1 seed Kansas.
There's always been some outstanding players in that part of the country, and they've been able to feed off of those guys and put together a good program. But I would just always remember, because they always say, Coach Plummer outdressed you again today.
That's the game within the game.
Oh, without question.
You got to have a good suit guy. "11 minutes to go. Jacobs trying to take over, couldn't do it. Ball squirts away, and Prairie View will walk it into front court. This has got to be the most frustrating part for Southern, because the Panthers are a team that's more than comfortable bleeding clock and playing in the half court. They can do this all night.
You know, but you work so hard, and you're one game away from what you worked since August to try to do and become. I can't even, it's hard to explain the emotion, but there's a lot of different feelings going through both benches right now as this thing starts to become a reality.
One of 11 automatic bids that will be clinched here today. And I always love the thing that's special about these one-bid leagues is the 3 from the corner misses. Offensive rebound. Jags inside. No. How about a third try? Yes, and a foul. A.J. Barnes relentless down low.
Now, right now, all Southern is trying to say is we want to get this thing to about 10 with about 6 minutes to go. And then we have a fighting chance. So that's what we're working to do right now. There you see, playing hard, hitting the glass, putting bodies on people. Yeah.
Barnes hits the free throw. Arizona and St. John's have already clinched here today. We've got some more games going on. Utah State, UMBC. Remember, they were the 16 that beat the 1.
Yeah. Rick Pitino is amazing to me. He is a basketball machine. I got to meet him when I first got into coaching in 1970, and you know, I went and interviewed with him, Mike, and we never ate the whole day.
Right.
You know, and Rick said, we don't eat here. He was at Boston. He was at BU. He said, we don't eat here. And I said, Coach, I'm a little hungry. Can we stop and get some French fries or something? He said,
no.
We don't have time for that right now.
We don't have time to eat.
But that was Rick Pitino. What a basketball guru he is.
And his suit game is strong.
Oh,
I mean, that's not off the rack.
Yeah. His bank account is strong too now.
Everywhere that man goes, though, he takes his teams into NCAA tournaments, and usually when they get there, they win some games. I don't think anybody's going to want to play St. John's in the upcoming tournament.
It's going to be some great matchups, I think.
I tell you, I've seen the best of the best this year, and the #1 seeds this year, I call them super teams, Coach. That's a big 3. Hit by Jacobs. Trying to make things interesting here. The lead is cut to 12. Joseph out of control and gets it to go. Terry on Joseph. That's one of those, if you're a coach, no. I mean, yes.
Well, you know, Mike, you talked about it early, how talented offensively Prairie View is, and they just haven't had to show all their weapons yet.
At 16 foul.
There you see the jump shot finishes up and follows. A good knockdown jump shot. The offensive rebounds will help get you back in.
I mean, that's not the early clock, off balance, layup in traffic. It's not what Coach Byron Smith called for, but that's what they got. And they've been hitting those kind of shots all night. The Panthers have ignited a 57% field goal percentage. And it doesn't get that much better. Not to mention 60% from downtown and every acrobatic circus layup you can think of.
Now you need Jacobs to step up for Southern right now and maybe hunt his shot a little bit more.
Instead, a turnover. Oh, goodness. Hardy had his pocket picked and gives it right back to the Panthers.
You can believe the ball's going to stay in Mr. Williams' hands right now.
And for a long time, perhaps. Nope, a quick three. I don't think that's what Byron Smith wanted at all.
He wasn't real happy with that.
No. Jacobs for three. Right on line, but a little too strong. That's exactly the look you want at Southern.
That's the shot you need to have.
Under 8 minutes to go. The number 8 seed, Prairie View Panthers, have led this game throughout. Trying to win their 4th game in 4 days. Never been done in the SWAC tournament before. Joseph pulls the trigger on a three, and air ball. Here comes Jacobs into front court. Jacobs barreling in, kicks it out, comes up top. Ambery looking for help. Now will throw it up at the rim, missed it, tapped out of bounds, and it will remain Jags basketball with 7:17 to go. Prairie View getting closer and closer to history. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team.
It's just me and you.
Worthy. Florida A&M took Southern down to the wire. We showed the highlight of how Southern won this game on a deep three from Jacobs. Florida A&M is coached by none other than former Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward. Better days ahead for the Rattlers. And another recognizable name, Reggie Theus. I think we've had 4 jump balls in like the last 4 minutes. Reggie Theus was the coach of the number 1 seed Bethune-Cookman squad. So Reggie Theus, Charlie Ward, Mo Williams is a coach in this league. You got some heavy hitters roaming the sideline.
Guys that can really play. And I think in doing games during the year, one of these things that these guys all try to do is not just coach basketball, but try to develop young people and teach them a better way of living their lives, the value of education and hard work. And for them, it's a job of passion, coming back and being able to give back.
Jacobs. And a great save that time by the Jags. The man who saved it gets it back. And thunderous slam for Terrence Dixon Jr. Dixon, a 6'8" senior out of Gwinnett County. It's Lawrenceville, Georgia, about a 45-minute drive north. I can get you all the Georgia geography. You need it, Coach.
I'm familiar.
Horn on a step-back three. Top floor for the rebound. The Jags. Dixon. Southern trying to get something going here in the final 6 minutes. It's do or die now. Season on the line. And drawing the foul is Michael Jacobs. You know, if you make 2 free throws here, Coach, it's a 10-point game with 5:58 to go.
Which is where you want to be. Again, I mean, you just want to put yourself in position the last 4 minutes to be able to win the game. I often talk to young coaches about managing the game, and you know, you have to, as a coach, have your team in a position in the last 2 minutes where you got a chance of winning the game. I think ultimately that's the way you judge coaching and how you wind up managing your team in the game.
Free throw miss that time for Jacobs, who's only 66% on the year. We've got you covered on Selection Sunday. Once again, it all starts at 6 o'clock Eastern on SportsCenter. Reese and the guys look at the men's field of 68, break down the brackets followed by bracketology and the breakdowns of every region. Then at 8, the women's field of 68 will be revealed. A breakdown of each game at 9 Eastern. All right, Coach, I've had the fortune to see Duke, Arizona, and Michigan in person. For me, as I said, those are super teams. I would also put a hot, I know they lost today, but Florida, when they're clicking, ultra talented. Give me another team you think can go all the way and win this thing.
Houston, depending on the matchup.
Okay.
You know, I just think that in that league, when they play Iowa State and they play Arizona, it's a bloodbath. I mean, they play so hard, I got to get a shower.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think the right matchup, Kelvin Sampson, Houston would be there.
Big time 3 by Cambery, and all of a sudden, Southern has cut it to single digits. A 16-2 run in a little more than 7 minutes.
And this has kind of been Southern's season. I mean, they've been down but not out. And so if they can come up with some stops right now, offensively they got the game in a much better flow. They're getting to the foul line. They're getting easier looks.
Shot clock down to 2. Desperation heave, no. And the rebound out to Ambery. Southern down by 8. All the momentum. Ambery runner off the window and in. All of a sudden it's a 6-point game.
That's why they like Ambery in the game for instant offense, and he stepped up and he's really created some scoring opportunity. Right now it's extremely important for Prairie View to operate offensively, get the ball in Williams' hands, or isolate Horn right now as we say he's in an isolation situation.
Are you surprised no timeout call? Well, they'll certainly benefit from it as Elijah Mitchell gets the foul, which is 5 on the shot clock. He'll be at the line with 4:09 to go.
No, you asked me because I think they have that kind of confidence in Williams. He's been the leader. He's the guy that has been controlling the tempo. So, no, I'm not surprised with it right now.
Mitchell is their best free throw shooter. So this is the guy you want at the line. 85% on the year, the junior out of Roanoke, Virginia.
For the Jaguars, number 4, Brandon Hardy.
7-point lead for that man, Byron Smith, in his 11th year as the head coach of this Panthers program, trying to make it to the big dance for the 2nd time, the last one coming in 2019, as Mitchell buries them both.
And Coach has a lot of confidence in his players, as you can see by his demeanor right here at this timeout.
There is the timeout by Byron Smith. 4:09 to go. We will step aside as well. Things getting interesting for the final 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Again, Prairie View has led throughout. There have been no ties. There have been no lead changes. And it's been forever and a day since the game was a single-digit ball game, but that's where we are right now. Little bully ball inside, and almost a three-point opportunity for Terrence Dixon Jr. He will shoot a pair after getting fouled inside. A paint touch for number 23 in white. He actually had a career performance in a meeting earlier between these two teams. He had 24 points and 11 rebounds. That was in the win. These two teams met twice in the regular season, Coach, and they split, and both games were decided by fewer than 5 points. So we shouldn't be surprised that this all of a sudden has become competitive.
No, but how it has happened, I think, surprised us how Prairie View was able to run out to the lead, and now Southern is the ability to come back. But this Southern team, you talked about earlier, they've got a lot of pride, a lot of tradition, and this matters a lot to these kids.
No doubt about it. Dixon connecting on the first, a chance to pull within 6 points. That seemed unfathomable a few minutes ago. It looked like Prairie View was going to walk away in a laugher. They were up by 20, and now it's a 6-point game with 4 to play, and here's the pressure. They're going to heat them up, Coach. And they've got them bottled up. They get out of it. A bobble and a missed layup. And there for the rebound is Dixon. A 3 would make it a 1-possession game. Hardy passed up the 3 and then lost it. A turnover. My goodness.
Hardy tried to get too deep on that. He had to catch and shoot.
3.5 to play. Horn trying to take over. Dante Horn spinning, leaving it off. And a beautiful dime. Dropped off for the easy slam.
Mike, but that's what your star does. That's what your stud does. When you're struggling, he figures out a way to get you a basket.
The lead is back to 8. Ambery, heat check 3. Oh! Tickles the twine from way downtown. And it's back to a 5-point game with 3 minutes to go.
He shot that like he was in his backyard, boy.
And then a hand check foul, and that's 18 fouls, so that'll be a 1-and-1. A little bit of a gift for Prairie View with 2:52 to play.
Now, first of all, look at the kick. Look at the range of it. I mean, there was no hesitation. But the biggest thing was he had his feet set, and he was ready to catch and shoot right away.
We are punching a ticket here tonight in Atlanta, and for much of the night, it looked like that ticket had Panthers written all over it. But Southern has made one heck of a run. It was a 17-2 run to pull within 4. Now it's a 6-point game.
These last 2 minutes and 52 seconds, this story is going to be told a lot of different ways by a lot of different people depending on how this comes out.
I saw Kevin Johnson, the Southern head coach. He pulled off some big wins last year against Mississippi State. Oh, what a beautiful driving layup. Beautiful driving layup by Damari Jones. And it's a 4-point game.
The Jazz just have to play good defense. They don't have to foul. They don't have to reach. They just need to play good defense.
Horn behind the back, slicing, dicing, missing the layup. An extra possession, though, for Prairie View. Mitchell backing in, up and under, poked away, and a steal. And here comes Ambery, attack mode, and he lost it. Knocked out of bounds by Prairie View. It will be Southern basketball with 2:06 to play.
Whenever you're in transition, you have to count the numbers in front of you so you know what's behind you, because guys like to come from behind and flip the ball and deflect it. Southern got lucky on that there wasn't a turnover.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. The arrow in favor of the Panthers. Ball comes into the leading scorer, Jacobs.
You need him to make a play right now.
He's been so good in this tournament. Drive and kick, open 3, right wing, short. That came off flat the moment it came out of the hands of A.J. Barnes. Barnes, who's had a great second half, but that time, no lift in the jumper.
See, right now they got Horns initiating. I think that's the wrong position with him. I think that they can locate him, they can load the defense up against him. I think they need to have him receive the ball and then attack.
Horn missed it, follow is good. Knifing in is Diallo. 6-point game. A loose item on the floor. It's a shoe, and we're going to play on. There's a shoe, and it's going to be Southern ball. There's been a shoe sitting there on the right wing for about the last 15 seconds. I thought they were going to stop play, but they just kept letting the possession run out. Got a flat tire there by Williams.
Southern has to find a way to put the ball in Jacobs' hands. I think they're trying to let other people create, and he's the guy that has to be the guy that can create, get to the foul line, and either pass the ball for a layup. At this point, personnel matters. I mean, you need to know who your guy is.
Let your stars shine, right?
You have to.
He's on the right wing, sets a screen. Jacobs is up top. Nobody's giving it to Jacobs. Off balance, gets it back and lost it. Then out of bounds. And to Southern. And again, Prairie View saying, let's challenge. We think that was a wrong call. And it looks like Prairie View is going to do just that. We're going to have a review, our first one of the night with 54.8. And this verdict is going to be huge. Because if all of a sudden this is overturned and it's the Panthers here.
And he's dangerous. He can kick it in and go to the other side and try to spot up for a three.
They'll open up with a box set. See who screens for who here. Diagonal screen action. Bodies moving everywhere, and it comes out to Dixon. Back to Ambery. Ambery. You gotta find Jacobs, don't you? Ambery all the way high off the window and in. Beautiful take by Ambery. And a timeout called by the Jags. It's a 4-point game with 45 seconds to play. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from Atlanta.
All in, deny them, or try to get a quick turnover. I think they will play the shot clock right now. I might try to foul.
And there is the foul, and it's a quick one. If you're going to foul, do it quickly, and they did it in 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds come off the clock. Now, they do foul Dante Horn, who's a good free throw shooter at 80%.
Well, when you're trying to come back, you use the clock to play offense, not to play defense. So you foul, put them on the foul line. Now I've got more time offensively to get the type of shot I need to cut this lead or to take the lead.
Horn has been terrific in this tournament, but this has been his worst game thus far. Just 11 points, 1 of 2 from the line. And he missed it. Plenty of time. A 4-point deficit. Ambery racing, probing the baseline. Ambery feeling it. A three. Just too strong. Rebound and then a steal. Down low. Pump fake. Shot it in. Up and in for Dixon. It's a one-possession game. 25 seconds to play. Full court pressure. Horn's got it. Numbers. Here come the Panthers. Back to Horn. Got it. With 18 seconds to go. Will they burn a timeout? Inside Ambery. No. Rebound Panthers. Here comes Horn. Way up in. 6 seconds to play. Jacobs at the buzzer. No good.